All right, good afternoon, mates. Nick away. I'm with Rochelle. Rochelle is the one that goes to all the city meetings and gives them hell over anything that's not right. So I'm really pleased that we're able to get together and see what's going on. Because we've got a lot of stuff we want to talk about. We want to talk about Hall Pier. All right, we want to talk about desalination. Anything else you want to add to it? I saw they're dredging Packery.
They are dredging Packery, which for me, and thanks for having me, I appreciate it.
No.
Some of the issues that we need to think about big picture for everybody who fishes, surfs, is a beach goer, is that they're trying to remove our access, right? Pins,
Yeah, they're right on
Mustang,
that.
yeah, JP Luby, YCAP, all of it. They're trying to remove access. They want to privatize it. They've been doing this since 2006,
Right.
right? Probably even before then.
We got involved in a big fight with them back in. That's when Scott actually put that carp about 2006. Then we had the big issue with the park doing want to close the beach for turtle season in 2012, and now they're doing it again. And there's a lot of meetings going on in the background, but the Park Service are just going to ride roughshod over us. I know it. They've already done it, and they're going to do it again. I promise you.
Well, the hard part of it is that if we don't come together as a community and understand, like, it's a big deal. They haven't closed. They're temporarily trying to close beaches, so we get accustomed to not having access.
Right.
So like the dredging that they're doing over on Packery is they're shutting down 1,000 feet at a time, and then they're going to move the barriers and 1,000 feet, and they're saying, hey, you guys are going to have an extra 100 feet of beach, which any hurricane
gone.
is going to wipe that out. So you have to question, because I'm not a scientist, you're not either.
No.
But Prop A, maybe?
Yeah, A.
Okay, Prop A.
Okay, so I saw that's involving a seawall. What seawall are they talking about?
Well,
is it the one in front of the hotels?
On Ocean Drive.
Ocean Drive.
Yeah. Ocean
okay, not the one out on the beach where.
No.
Okay, all right.
This is the seawall on Ocean Drive and Shoreline. And basically, it just got major repairs 10 years ago. And so they're saying it's fine. We're not going to need any money, but any kind of hurricane, any type of damage, it's going to need money.
Right.
So, but I think I've done a lot of research on Prop A, and one, we should for sure vote against it because it's a blank check for the city. There's no set plan. And in my opinion, based off of the research that I've been able to do, is I think they're really going to, because there is no hotel plan, and because they have no set plan, I think they're trying to use that money for desalination funding. Okay. Because it can go towards economic growth.
Talking about desalination, explain to us what the actual objective is and what the plan is currently.
Okay, so basically, this is based off of city documents. The community, even the outskirts, some of the outskirts residential people, we're only using 16% of the water that supply.
Okay.
16%. They are scaring people and saying, we're running out of water. We need to be on a drought. We're on a drought contingency plan now. That's why you can't water on certain days at your place. But there's 5 stages of drought. We start getting fined and could go to jail on drought stage 2. Industry doesn't even have to start doing anything until stage 5.
Okay.
So it's already set up for us to fail. But anyway, so you have desalination plants. Basically what it is we're running out of water, so they need to pull ocean water.
See, I'm not against desalination. I'm against the brine. What are they going to do with it?
Right.
Now I understand correctly that it should be taken out to sea.
Yep.
But it's so expensive, they're not planning to do that. Is that correct?
Well, they're not planning to do that because they want to put it in our bay. So Corpus Christi Bay.
So they're going to up the salinity.
Yep.
That could be really detrimental to
it will
everything.
100% destroy our sea life. 100%.
Yeah.
And tourism, because you won't be able to access that water.
Do you know, I always remember there was a mate of mine called Spurlock who used to fish in the bays, right? So he'd take his boat and wash his boat out outside his garage, right? It never, ever grew any grass or anything. There's a big bald patch from doing that. So it shows you how toxic
Hmm.
salinity can be to the environment.
Oh yeah, and especially
Yeah.
to sea life.
Oh,
I mean,
knock it on the
you're
head.
changing the entire.
Yeah.
That's like somebody, putting a bunch of
Changing
different
air or
crazy
something.
air on us.
Hmm.
So what's happening is they're saying we're running out of water. We need desalination plants. So you have the Port of Corpus Christi, who's trying to put 2 desalination plants in our bay. They're working on permitting. We're fighting them, but we need help. You have the city, who wants to put 2 desalination plants in the bay, and you have CC Polymers, who's trying to put a desalination plant in the bay. So you're talking about 5 desalination plants
Right.
in the Corpus Christi Bay. We're never going to
No.
survive that. And based off the map here, so you have these 2 from the port, these 2 from the city, and this one from CC Polymers. They have put a halt to their business, thankfully. So hopefully they won't start using that. But you're
So
talking.
are they all talking about dumping in
Yep.
different areas, or are they going to come out to one area?
Nope, they're just right now. There is no plan.
No, they're just.
Yeah, they're just engineering. They're talking like the city just approved 200 and some odd thousand for a consulting
Okay,
firm.
so if we look at these companies that are going to bring this desalination into being, it's not really to save money, to save water. It's to save them money.
Well,
I suppose it's cheaper for them to desalinate and continue paying for water off whoever
no,
charges.
well, we're out of water. They're
Okay.
saying that industry, because since we're the minority user at 16%, industry needs way more water than what they're utilizing right now for industry expansion.
They want it for nothing.
Right. But they want the community to pay for it.
Okay.
And so they're looking for different ways to fund it, but it's still our money.
So your plan is that you're going to raise up interest, and we are all going to fight against it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is this going to be put to the vote anytime, or?
We're gonna, and that's the thing is the way that politics works. And I've only been delving into this for the last few years because whenever they closed our tyrannical judge closed our beaches, that's whenever I got involved. Is it's obviously it's very bureaucratic, and so you have to have elected officials who have a backbone and say we have to take this to the voters.
Right.
Otherwise, if you have a council, which we have right now, who's completely in agreement, they're doing backdoor deals with industry and the port, which this is called a MOU that some city council was dealing with the port on the background without involving other council members. It's very shady for sure.
Okay.
And so you have to be able to have somebody elected who's like, no, this needs to go to the voters.
All right.
Otherwise, if you have 9 council members who are like, hey, we don't care if we destroy the bays, we don't care if we use taxpayer money, then they can pass that without a vote.
All right. So you are going to be running for council.
Well, I'm running for county commissioner.
Okay.
And there's a strategy behind that. A current at-large council member who's been, actively, he was the lead negotiator on this memorandum of understanding with the port. He's announced to run for county commissioner, and he did that in June to scare off anybody from running against him on the Republican primary.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is he's pushing desal big time in our bay, and he wants for us to pay for it. So
Okay.
I'm running against him for
Okay.
county commissioner.
Have they mentioned? Do they talk about taking the pipe out to sea? Is that
the city has not?
I have heard about it.
The port has,
Okay.
but if you can wrap your head around this, they want to do a pipeline that is 14 foot in diameter.
That's a big one.
Yeah, 14 foot in diameter to pipe it out right there to the edge of the Gulf. You have to go far out so it doesn't detrimentally impact our local sea life.
Right, so it's got to go deep.
Yeah, it's got to go far and it's got to go deep, and they're not willing to pay for it. They want for us to pay for it. And right now, I'm not anti-industry.
No.
But I think that we need to diversify our portfolio here in Corpus, right? And say, hey, industry, you guys have expanded. You guys aren't paying your taxes, and the community, the residents are subsidizing your water rates. So we're going to go ahead and call it a day.
Right. Okay, let's go on. Now let's take me on another subject, Hall Pier, which I know you've been very active on.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about it.
There is a split commissioner's court.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 people voting in for just building the pier and the concession, just what was there, and then 2 people who are adamantly for building that third party concession restaurant. As far as what I'm seeing is we were at that meeting together
Hmm.
where we approved everything. We got the double piling for
Right.
the surfers,
Yeah.
and hey, let's go get moving. Somewhere along the way, they dropped the ball, and so now they're saying that they're not even going to send things to the engineer until January,
Okay.
and we may start construction in the summer.
Okay. I was out there the other day, and the people who did the clearing,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know who was organising that, but all the way into the first cut, there's massive lumps of concrete been left underwater that you can't see. People are going to injure themselves on that. I believe they should be made to move that stuff if they've been paid to clear up after them. There's concrete all the way. If you go from Bob Hall Pier south, I would say 200 yards is concrete rock rubble. People are going to fall off surfboards, kids are going to be out there, they're going to get hurt by that. They should be made to clean that up.
I think I know the company that did that, and that's a good thing to
I personally, I saw that, but I've fished piers all over the country, right? They're old wooden things, nothing compared to what ours was. And they pulled it down. I could not believe they pulled that down. They should have took the T-head, blocked it off, fixed it, and it would have been okay.
Well,
someone was after a lot of insurance money.
Yeah, that was the preceding judge.
Okay.
So she wanted to receive ARPA funds, so it had to be destroyed because they had to say it was destroyed. And for me, this goes back to politics where it was intentional,
Right.
because they knew how hard it was going to be to finish to get that pier built, and so
There's a lot of people who grew up fishing that pier. Bob Hall Pier was a big thing for everyone, you know, and yeah, it's terrible that it's not there now, and I hope that they do get it built. And the fact that restaurant, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just sitting there like this weird thing.
Yep.
You know, they're going to find it in 10,000 years and figure out what the hell was it. Didn't even have a staircase.
Well, and then I think in typical, politics, they've made it about the restaurant, and they do 2-story restaurant, and that's like, we don't care.
No.
We don't care about the restaurant. We care about the pier
Yeah,
being
it's got to be
done.
back up.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
And so they get political, and it's people like us that have to jiggle their head and make them focus. And we have an issue with some politicians playing both sides. They're telling the pier people that are for the pier, hey, I'm doing the best I can.
Has anyone thought about the concept of maybe trying to sell the idea to a commercial enterprise? I mean, some of these piers in Europe, they're owned by businesses. You know, I mean, and they make them gorgeous, of course, and make them a big attraction.
I think there's some legalities to doing that because of where it's sitting. Because if you remember, like the Padre Bali Park, all those restrictions, and I think that might be an issue about.
It shouldn't be. It's in front of the dune line. It should belong to the people. I don't think the Padre Bali thing. That was privatized land.
Well, and the people do own that.
They do own the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why.
No, sorry. The wasn't it the campsite next to it? The big. They expanded that.
Okay.
And they weren't supposed to. I don't think.
Well,
there was some deal there. Yeah.
But the hard part is that we're trying to get. I am in favor of the county judge, the way she said, hey, if we're going to do this, we can afford to build the pier, and we'll go back to the restaurant at another time. And I'm agreeable to that because we do need to get the pier built. Okay. Because it's going to be a waste of time. They're going to run that clock until we forget about Bob Hall Pier and say, oh, whatever happened to that? Right. They're banking on us forgetting. They're banking on us not fighting for access. Right. They're banking on us giving up and being quitters. And we have to come together for this.
Thanks very much for coming in, Rochelle. It was very enlightening. It's the subjects that we've covered, which are dear to most fishermen's hearts and beach users. And we thank you for getting involved and keeping us informed. Rochelle Caballero is running for County Commissioner, and we really do appreciate her insight into what's going on government-wise. If there's any other city employees or people running that would like to come in to express a different opinion, we're open. Come along anytime. We're always interested in these subjects. Anyhow, you'll have a great day. This is Nick away from Breakaway. And Rochelle, again, thank you.